Now, tell me, when you tried to deconstruct this in your mind and say, how in the world could this child that I laughed with, that I wrestled with, that used to run and jump on his grandmother and joy and excitement, how could he wind up to be this murderer, this serial killer?
I thought that he, at some point in his age 12 to 14, when he was coming out of puberty, his sexual engine, so to speak, was in high drive, and he was touching the insides of these animals, that he just sort of got hardwired neuronally into connecting the sexual pleasure with this type of activity, entrails, insides of bodies. That's the way I thought about it after thinking about it for a while. At first, I couldn't fathom how he turned out to be this far down the continuum. I mean, we're all on a continuum. We all do bad things. We all sin. He was at the extreme of this continuum. I couldn't at first understand how he could have done those things.
Did you ask him, did you say, Jeff, how in the world could you make this okay in your mind?
I was concentrating mostly on getting him into a psychiatric hospital. I didn't ask him that specifically, but I did tell him, Jeff, we've got to find out how on earth you could have done these things.
Well, Candace, unpack that.
You think serial killers are created. And what we do know, there is a clinical disorder, antisocial personality disorder. And it pretty much speaks for, antisocial, and it's a personality disorder. I call it a chink in the DNA armor. It's there. For example, if you're blonde, you're blonde. You can color your hair dark, but your DNA says you're a blonde. Antisocial personality disorder can be broken down into two categories, psychopath, sociopath. The simple way to look at it is psychopaths are born. Sociopaths are made. Now, having studied hundreds of people that commit horrible crimes, serial killers or mass murderers, things like that, and going back into their childhood, a lot of them that would be and have been diagnosed as sociopaths, so that side of the umbrella, had horrible, gruesome experiences as children. And then on the other side of that is what appears to be Jeffrey Dahmer, despite the fact that his parents argued a great deal and his mother had her problems, did not suffer beatings from his parents, did not suffer, wasn't locked away in dark closets, wasn't starved. We know these things that I just described do happen to some children. Many of them survive it without becoming killers themselves, but some of them don't. I haven't been able to put my finger on anything in Jeffrey Dahmer's childhood, his upraising, that would lead me to say, that's why he became a serial killer. I think there was, my expression, a chink in the DNA armor. As they grow older, get more experience, they learn to be cunning, they learn to be clever. Jeffrey was manipulative. That was the hardest part of the series for me to watch, and I couldn't watch the last few episodes, seeing how he manipulated the police into, no, this young boy, he's my boyfriend. He was naked and he was bleeding. And the police went, okay. And the woman that lived next door, that the police would not listen to her. That made me sick. But it's important to know, people that can become serial killers start learning how to lie and manipulate when they are very young.
Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.